Welcome to episode 47 of the Freedom Cage podcast. As always, to my right, I got my ace, my main guy, Mr. Senor Shawn, as you know him.
You know.
And me, I'm Kenny, man, also known as King Catnick on most of those socials. But today, it's a special one, man. We got I guess the professional word would be a brand connoisseur. How would they? How would you introduce yourself to the world here today?
I struggle with that. But what I've gotten comfortable with, I don't even know if gotten is a word, so I already started off wrong. But what I'm more comfortable with now, as far as like my introduction, I'll just introduce myself as O from a different concept. So it's kind of like you can't forget the name.
Mm-hmm.
So O is simple, and then you hear the brand after that. So I'm telling you where I'm from. So O from a different concept. That's my rap name.
That's how you do it. Treat it like a last name.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Smart.
Man. Yeah, man. So it's funny because as we always talk about like intros, right? I thought a cool concept of telling people like what your nationality is and where you're from, give people like a hint so they could probably try and guess in the comments from what you would tell them about your nationality.
All right, so you know what? I know exactly where I'm gonna go with this. My nationality right now, like as of right now, which is kind of cool because growing up, I swore I was black. I was like a hardcore Iverson fan, and I had braids. All my exes are black. Like I just started dating Spanish woman, right?
Welcome.
But thank y'all for letting me in. So but what I would say is, as of lately, there's one dude that has me proud to be what I actually am, and that's Bad Bunny. Like my wife's a huge Bad Bunny fan, right? And for the first time, it was kind of like, damn, it was dope. It's dope to see somebody from my background doing something dope. Like you can't not talk about him, whether you listen to the music or not, whether you understand the music or not. It still goes off everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
And me growing up, all the cool guys were always black. Like the culture was always the dopest, dancing, the music. Method Man was my first favorite rapper. Then Mace, and like everybody I looked up to, it was always black because there was really, and it's probably my fault for not knowing too, but I didn't know of any cool Puerto Rican people beside J-Lo, Mark Anthony, and like Pudge Rodriguez. But there was like nobody who was like really popping where you're like, damn, you can't not see this guy somewhere and know who that is.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good enough hint.
Yeah,
I mean, you said it too, though, but it's all right.
Did I say it?
Yeah, you did say it.
Oh shit, damn, I messed up.
It's so good,
I get excited when I talk about
it. Trust me, the minute that they heard you say Bad Bunny, they were already hip.
So we got him. So we got another one.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
I could go with another one where it's like I have a whole cabinet in the kitchen that's filled with Goya.
We gonna put that in the preview clip.
I don't know if that
preview clip.
I don't know. Goya might be a giveaway too.
Exactly. I mean, the culture is just, and that just lets you know how popular the culture really is, because people can identify certain things if you mention a certain particular object. It's just like that.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
but the flip side to that is, don't call everybody that, because I remember when I was in junior high school, everybody Hispanic was Puerto Rican.
That's a fact.
And I made the mistake of calling a Dominican girl Puerto Rican. She didn't talk to me for months after that. And she was like, you got to understand, that's offensive. I was like, I don't get it. Yeah. What's offensive about it?
So this is something I noticed from a get-together, like a family get-together I went to recently, right? And it brings it back to Bad Bunny, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the first time, it was like my first time being somewhere where Bad Bunny music came on and the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans sung together. I feel like he's the glue. He's the glue to stop that whole, my Spanish is different than your Spanish. Like that, I don't know how valid that is everywhere else, but I noticed that at a barbecue. I was like, oh, that's crazy. We all singing the same shit together.
Yeah.
So
Look what it took, man.
He's a culture. He's definitely a culture shifter, though.
Absolutely.
Not even just like locally, like abroad. Like he's making shit shake all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're coming to him now.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
It's like things are kind of moving through him now. It's like, oh, you need somebody in your commercial, or we'll go that way. It's like he's not looking for the sponsors. The sponsors are looking for him now, which is, to me, this still super dope. But you're like, yo, this dude is Puerto Rican.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, man, congrats, man. He's doing it though.
Absolutely. So first of all, I love the product placement background. That's strategic.
That's how you do it.
It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? The background makes so much sense. So we know why you're here. Go ahead, man.
no, like I was trying to figure it out the whole time, like where I was gonna pod, right? and in one of my, because I have my own podcast, in one of my episodes, I was like, let me just do it in front of the closet, right? Because the way I have the lighting set up is I have the daylight light bulbs, because I knew I wanted to pod. I knew I wanted to take photos of the brand and stuff like that. So I have no ring light, no nothing. This is the light in my apartment with the intentions of podcasting. And then, I was sitting in a different area every time, and I'm like, oh, this background looks trash. This makes me look like a nice person. This looked like I definitely didn't decorate this room. And then when I sat in front of the closet, I was like,
this makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. But then I'm still a little phony though, because it's usually not that neat.
Whoa. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that.
I'm sitting there folding stuff where I'm like, God, I gotta make it look right.
You think this is how we look all the time?
I got mad MUAs all over the place, making sure this looks together today.
Oh yeah, this couch did not look like this before we.
You had to clear off the couch.
Oh yeah, man. Sure. Between the son and my wife, that shit here ain't supposed to be here, but
makes
sense. Good now. Everybody's good. They background straight.
I'm pretty sure there's a scrunchie somewhere.
Oh man, shit's probably under my foot right now.
Deep in the couch. Deep in the couch.
Yeah, man. So yeah, but definitely the background is dope. So a different concept, man. Let's start from the beginning, right? What got you into wanting to design your own clothing brand?
So it's a mistake that turned into something like it, and this is me being 100% honest. I never had plans on having a brand. I always was a fan of fashion, but not in the high end where, like everything I gotta wear gotta be name brand. I was always a fan of color coordination and wearing brands that nobody may be talking about, but when you wear it, somebody sees that outfit and they're like, oh, that's dope. Where did you get that from? Right. So that was always my fashion style. One year my wife got me a digital camera, and in my head I wanted to get into fashion photography. So maybe 3 days after getting my camera, I had a boy who has a brand, and he gave me the opportunity to shoot for his brand. And I took photos for his brand. He uploaded the photos. People asked them who did the photos. So people started reaching out to me to shoot photos for their brand too. And I had all these ideas of, you should do this here. I'm thinking about shoots for your brand without you even asking me. Like, I didn't even know if you gave me the green light to shoot for you, but I would reach out to you and be like, I think, this would look dope in this location. But it's still never, I still never thought, damn, I want to have my own brand one day. And so me and my sister got into a fallout, right? I don't even know what we was arguing about. It's just family stuff, right? And she went to Snapchat. And I don't even have Snapchat, but she went to Snapchat and she said, sometimes I think me and my brother's cut from a different cloth. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. So, me being petty, I reached out to a graphic designer. I said, I need you to do me a logo for a different cloth. So they made the ADC logo. So I did 12 hats with the black hats with the ADC logo. And then those 12 hats sold out in about an hour and a half. So I was like, oh shit, people like it. Like 12 friends. So it's kind of like, oh, cool. It really doesn't count. In my head, it didn't count because it's like, oh, it's 12 friends that I'm cool with. But I was still humbled that, like, oh, they're gonna buy something that that I'm standing behind. I did another 12, sold in about another 2 hours. I'm like, oh shit, let me do more. Did a bigger order, did 24 hats that sold in like 2 days. When I came to look at it, maybe in about 2 months, 2.5 months, I sold about 150 hats, like, different color variations and, like just colors that I knew I liked.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, damn, I might have to, make this a brand. But in the process of selling the hats, I noticed that I was selling a lot of hats to females and dudes, which to me was kind of dope because I wasn't even wearing dad hats at the time. I was wearing snap hats, but I know if I did snap hats, it's only going to attract a certain kind of crowd.
Yeah, certain demo.
So when I started seeing the girls with the dad hats, I was like, oh man, that actually looks really dope on females too. So then I was like, oh, I got to do a t-shirt. I want to do a shirt, but it got to be unisex. So then when I did the shirts started selling too, and I was like, damn, I might have to take this serious. So that's why I say it was a joke, or just it happened by mistake. So in the process, and I don't mean to drag this out, but in the process of me making it, more of a thing and making it a brand, I wanted to get a trademark. So, so it's official. So I tried to get a different cloth trademark. It got rejected. But that was the first $800 that I lost. Because you have to pay, the trademark fee, you got to pay the attorney. I did it through LegalZoom, right? So the funny thing about LegalZoom is when they help you do the application, everything, the conversation and the communication is awesome when they're doing the application. When they get the response, they're like, oh, that's a separate service for us to like translate it. So I would have to pay another whatever fee to figure out what was going on. So I started looking it up by myself, right? And there was another brand who had different clothing brand. And what I learned was because it had the exact verbiage of different cloth, mine wasn't able to get approved. So, at that moment, I was just like, oh, I'm just going to let it go. I don't really have a backup plan. This was a mistake. So I was sitting in my mother-in-law. I was sitting in, she was my girlfriend at the time. I was sitting in her house talking to her mom, and I was like, damn, I got to come up with another idea, think of something different. I have that logo. I like the logo. I kind of like having a brand and seeing people wear the brand, right? So that's, I got to come up with like another idea. I got to come up with a different concept. My mom goes,
Duh.
why don't you use that? And I was like, what? She's like, a different concept. Well, at first we thought about a different chihuahua, but we didn't think that would work. So
I'm happy that ain't work out. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm happy that ain't work out.
You dodged a lot of shit.
No. We were just going through every C name in the dictionary, and when she said, why don't you do that? I was like, I started looking up, the meaning of concept, the idea behind it, because it also had to make sense. I just didn't want to have a logo, and when you hear the name, you're like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
But when I switched it to a different concept, I ended up liking the brand even more. So it went from a joke to, I like this because this is exactly what the brand was. It described what the brand was. It's literally just my ideas. It's just something I thought of. I thought of it, this color. I thought of this colorway. I thought of this, design, this logo. So it was like a different concept. So it just made sense.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's dope. The fact that you were able to pivot and keep, the acronym, that's dope.
That's big. Yeah.
That is really dope, man. And it's cool because the last guest we had on here, it's always great hearing the stories that lead to the name. You know what I mean? Because you're just wearing a brand because you love it, how it looks. But then when you hear the story of it, it's like now when you wear it, it's like, oh shit, like I know what he's been through. Like this was a real like
it makes more sense.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
How long ago did you make the first hat?
2017.
And what was your very first piece after the hat? You said the shirt?
So the very first piece that I did after the hat was a t-shirt. It was a t-shirt that I did on Gildan shirts, and I didn't sell those. I couldn't put my name on it. Like I just didn't like the way the shirt felt. Where it's hard when you're a newer brand because it's kind of like your first impression, and you I didn't want people buying a shirt because they were supporting because, like, oh, I got to support O's brand and then not buy again if I did something else. I wanted I wanted that to be a favorite shirt. I wanted it to be like, even if I'm doing the same thing that other people are doing, you like the quality of what I'm doing. So the first thing I did was a t-shirt. I did a black one with the white logo. white one with the black logo. I actually used Shawn as one of my models.
Yeah. I remember the photo shoot.
That was the first shirt.
That's what's up. Looking back on that first shirt design, now that you had a few, I guess, notches under your belt, where to go, where to pivot. Do you regret that first design, or you feel you could have made it better looking back at it now, or how do you feel about it today with today's fashion lens?
So I feel like the biggest issue I'm having myself with the logo is what I noticed is that a lot of graphic designers, whether online or just like your friend, are doing like logos with in the same shape, like the triangle with the letters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, being that I never thought that this would be a brand, when I first saw the logo, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Look at the A, look at the D, look at the C. And then as it started being a brand, I started liking the logo less and less because I started seeing other brands use the same logo. And it's not, I don't think like, people copied it, because I saw an emergency services van on the highway and I was like, oh, this gotta go. I'm like, yeah, that looks like my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's where I'm struggling at right now is it's almost like starting over and choosing a new logo.
Mm-hmm. Like a revamp or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like, it's the fear of, are they going to like it? Or are people fans of the brand that much that regardless what logo I use, they're going to support it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I also want to use a logo that when I see it, I know it's mine. Because there'll be some times where I'll see somebody real quick and I'll see a hat and then I got to zoom in and it's an Adidas hat. Oh, it's something else. Like I get gassed, right?
Yeah.
I want to know for sure that like, oh, that's my shit. That's my logo. I could curse.
Yeah.
All right. I want people to see it or I want to see it and be like, yeah, I know that's mine for sure. Like I don't want it to get confused with anything else. So that's been the struggle that I've had lately.
Gotcha. Okay.
I still like the logo because it's what started the whole thing. Right. But now that it's now that it's an actual brand, it's like, I got to pick a logo now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's always tough. Like you always want to stand out amongst everybody else because it is, it's a saturated market. Everybody's got some sort of shirt out there.
Everybody got a cricket.
You know what I mean? Like there's something going on. Like last night we had an IG live, and now the concept of Deborah came up, right? I'll tell you the story another time.
Please do.
But now, Kenny's got to work on a Deborah shirt for FCP.
I gotta get the Deborah logo going.
Everybody on the live was like, nah, man, we need Deborah's information. Like,
Word.
But yeah, like, so seeing you started off, like, I remember, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember us talking about it. I remember you going through all the trademark stuff. So it's great that you were able to bring that to this podcast. When you think about, like, let's say retro fashion, right? Like right now, a lot of style is coming back into play, and you're starting to see it come back. Like the thing that connected me the most, because when me and O first met, because we was the only dudes in the office with Pradas on.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much how we met, like nice kicks. You know what I mean? Like straight up just like that. So now it's like seeing the Prada resurgence come back. It's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
I don't like the new ones though, that they made the bottom all white and they like $600 now.
Oh yeah, I saw the price. I was like, yo,
I don't like them that much anymore.
Yeah, so the ones I saw were like 900.
I'm good.
I'm about to say they wasn't 600 before.
No, I got mine so long ago. They were $450 when I got them.
Exactly, yeah.
That was a lot. I used tax money for those.
Sure, I was saying, like it was just like that. Like, so when I saw 9, I'm like, damn, that inflation is a motherfucker, man. Like I did the math. I'm like,
so no thanks.
That's a crazy percentage every year. Like,
yeah,
that's nuts. But they're capitalizing off of the celebrities wearing it. So seeing all the retro fashion that's coming back, is there a particular retro brand that you can see making a comeback?
A retro brand. If I had, I can't think of one that I could see because I don't really pay attention to too much stuff like that. But if I had to answer one that I would want to see,
okay, that's fair.
I would love to see Iceberg come back.
You don't know how much I miss my Bonnie and Clyde sweater I had with the it was hard.
That's what I'm
It was
so
hard.
if you look at like a lot of the streetwear now, like they have the characters, they have, like a logo, they have a mascot. And when Iceberg came out, it was Mickey Mouse and Snoopy and all this other stuff where you're like, imagine that collabed with some of the new brands. Like I just think that would be dope. And that's also low key the inspiration behind me using a light bulb design.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I need a character. I need to do a sweater at some point with the big light bulb because it would remind me about the Iceberg. And mind you, I like it so much because I was never able to afford Iceberg. My first Iceberg shirt was bootleg. I bought it from Fordham.
I got an Iceberg story for you when you're done.
Go ahead, Toby.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Listen, so mom sent me to the store with about $200 to go school clothes shopping, right? So now you remember S&D Underground, man. I went right to S&D Underground. I was supposed to go.
You bought one shirt.
I bought one pair of pants, bro.
And how's that?
One pair of pants. And I was the happiest kid. That train ride home, I got home. My mother come in the room. She's like, where your clothes at? I was like,
right
they
there.
right here. She was like,
Nah.
what? I was like, these the pants I wanted. She was like, how much them pants? I was like $200. She was like, boy, if you don't take that shit back and go get, how embarrassing it was.
That's pain.
To walk back up to that girl at the register the next day,
and
be like, I'm gonna need to return these.
It didn't work out like I thought it would. Like they don't fit after all. Oh man, but I remember like my first probably expensive piece of clothing I had growing up was by pure accident. Ramel, he had this dope. It was like a baby blue, dark blue Versace joint. It was had the gray zipper in the middle. And mommy accidentally washed it and dried it, so it didn't fit him no more. So he was tight. He was flipping shit. I was like, damn. He like threw it on the bed. I was like, damn. Looks like an extra medium fits me today. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was wearing that shit to school like once, twice a week if I could.
This looked like my size.
I was hot shit for at least 3-4 months before I got hot again. But yeah, that was oh man, that Versace sweater. I was mad. I think I got a hole in it one day, but that shit was hard.
You wore it too much.
I wore the shit out of that free sweater. I didn't even know what Versace was. I was like, I think this is the shit Biggie talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Versace?
This the Versace, the Versace, right? This is it. It's like hibachi, but Versace, like that's just like that. But yeah, it was good times. Good times, man.
Yeah,
good times. I don't want to get into this next one. All right, as your brand grows, right? You start off with the hats, you did the shirts, you was unisex with it, but as your brand grows, you still want to be a true designer. But as you get bigger now, what will come into play or be more important to you? More so the quality of the piece or having the quantity to now supply the masses at the same time? Because trying to do both, unless you got the yay money on the back end after you found out Sway was right, you gotta usually gotta pick one or the other if you're gonna go forward. How is there a way you would proceed with that at this time?
So from the beginning, my biggest concern has always been the quality. So as far as the quality, if it doesn't improve, it would stay the same. But I've tried to always have good quality. So even if it did stay, oh damn, hit my camera, my fault. Even if it did stay the same, I'm satisfied with the quality.
Okay.
As far as the brand growing, I feel like that's where I'm struggling in the sense that I don't think I'm doing enough, and I'll take full blame for this because I procrastinate a lot. When it comes to my brand, I'm a little, I'm not gonna say insecure because I know it's dope, but like I'm confident with the ideas, but I struggle to execute. So I'm sitting on a lot of designs. I'm sitting on a lot of ideas that I wanted to do. And then sometimes I end up feeling like I'm selling merch to the same, not merch, but I'm selling stuff to the same 27 people. And I appreciate the support.
Right.
But the brand is not growing. So, like every release, I'll get 3 or 4 new people, which again, I always appreciate. Like I always get humbled anytime I make a sale. Like I don't put stuff out and feel like, oh, they're going to buy it. I put it out with hopes that y'all like it. And when they do, I'm like, oh, this is dope. When I sell one, and when I sell out, I'm like, oh, this is cool. When I sell out, it just means I can make something else. But I'm struggling as far as growing the brand. So one of my like short-term goals is I want to do like my first pop-up, but not like a ADC pop-up, but like, like when they have those small pop-ups with different vendors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never done any of those out of fear of what if it don't sell? Like, is that a blow to the ego?
Right.
But it's one of those things that I feel like I have to do now because I see the opportunity in being around a bunch of strangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's cool
I respect
because
it.
I've seen a couple people, do pop-ups. It's always like it's a hit or miss. You know what I mean? It depends on the crowd. But I think you got a really good product, man.
Thank you.
And listen, we go through the same thing with the podcast, right? If you go from like episode 1 to now, it's a completely different ball game. Episode 1, we was just rambling. You know what I mean? We had no structure, no real segment. We were just sitting there with a cup of Hennessy, just shooting the shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And after a while, you start to look around and you're like, all right, we gotta do something different.
Who is this for?
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
You're trying to find your niche or your demo as to who you attract. I guess, and even with that, it's weird. Like you want to find your demo that you do attract, but after a while, it's like, hey man, y'all been cool. Like you've been saying, the 27 people,
right?
Hey, y'all been dope, man. Couldn't have got here without you.
How do I get to 28?
But I gotta get to 30 real quick. Like
exactly.
I gotta get to 50. You know what I mean? But finding the demo is always super important. You always want to find your core, but the goal is try to be organic. You try to grow it naturally. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the speed as you want it to go isn't doing the same. So you got to kind of figure it out at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I know like we did is necessarily same thing like with professional was just try to like shift the focus on weekly goals. So every week something pops up.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, have you increased your membership by like 10%? Or have you, you know what I mean? Have you done anything like networking with other podcasts to see, what they're doing and stuff like that? Like seeing that shit pop up every week, fam, it puts you on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one of the things that
it's like weekly goals.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's been the 2022 goals, and we're already in September. So looking at it the other day, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Like 75% of the year is gone, fam. Like
so annoying. So annoying. I feel I like all the goals I set out for the brand. Like I started off in January so good. Like I had this plan that I wanted to sell something, at least one piece every week. And I had like the first 6 weeks planned, right? Like I was doing drop-offs and all that. And I had this little nothing fight with my wife of like she felt like me doing the drop-offs was wasting gas. But in my head, I looked at it like I'm moving a piece, at least a piece a week.
Yeah.
And then it got in my head that, damn, what if I'm wasting gas? And then like the momentum just died from there. And then I don't blame her. I blame me for letting it get to me. That it will make me stop making those trips. Where it was like, even though, regardless if I'm making gas, I'm wasting gas, and if it was a $50 sale and I used $10 in gas, and it was still the excitement of getting the piece to somebody. Like I'm gonna get this to you. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to get this to you. Because again, being that some people, being that most people or the people who support the brand know me, they do want me to drop it off. They do want to, meet up real quick and
drop it off.
I talk a lot, so sometimes I have good conversations, and if you haven't seen them in a while, they want to see you. Nah, just stop by, bring it by. And in my head, I'm like, why can't you just order it online? But in my head, I'm like, I've seen people really not order it. But when I say, yo, I'm on my way, they'll be like, I bet how much I owe you. And I'm like, all right, so I don't want to feel like I'm forcing you to make the sale, but I'm noticing that's how I make the sale.
Yeah.
So it's
hand to hand is a little better than hand to click for some reason. I don't know why, but
it's more personable too. It's kind of like, and I enjoy that. I actually enjoy that. It's just like I moved to Yonkers now, so a trip to the Bronx now is a little more. But I still like it. It's like, damn, like you want it. And in my head, I'm like, nah, I want you to have it. Like, I really want you to have it.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff looks better on you than it does in the closet.
1,000% of the time.
It's
How it works.
something because, and you know what it is, man. People have so much shit in their face every day saying buy.
That too.
They want to support you, but they got so much shit in their face that
And I
the
understand
minute-
that. Like, I really understand that.
So I've even learned, like, you know, even you got to talk about what you do more.
That's it.
You know, like I don't know if it's cultural, whatever it is, but we have this fear of, well, I can't boast too much about what I do because then they're gonna talk about it. But at the end of the day, man, fuck that. If you believe in something so much, then yeah, you're gonna make those drop-offs. You're gonna tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry you come across, yo, by the way, man, you know, if you ever, you know, you look like you work out, man, I got a shirt that'll look great on you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it'll be received by the person you're talking to, but at the end of the day, you're trying to sell your
I just say it with an LOL.
Every time. You have to, every time.
You know what I mean?
Time.
But yeah, that's something culturally that we have to get over, man. Like we have to constantly put ourselves out there, put our content out there. Cause, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, man. McDonald's is still advertising chicken nuggets.
I know, and that's what I noticed too.
Chicken nuggets.
That's what I noticed too when I post stuff on my social media, even if it's old pictures. Somebody hit me up like, oh, I never got that. What do you have now?
Yeah,
because I went through a whole photo dump on Thursday of just like, it was dope to look at my stuff when I look at the story and see how many pieces that I've done and how far I've come along the way. Like it was kind of like a motivational thing for myself. Like you get those moments where I start feeling like, do I even want to do this anymore? Like, is it working, or do people fuck with the brand? You know, who am I selling it to? Who's my demo? But then you post all those pictures and you're like, nah, this shit's kind of fire. Like I look at those pictures and I'm like, damn, this brand is not trash. Like I got some pretty cool ideas. And it sucks that we're like that sometimes we don't think it's hot until somebody else tells us it's hot.
Tell me about it, bro.
But then it's the same thing with the customer, whereas you'll see that I did the laundry day shirts and you like the laundry day shirts, but until you see somebody with more followers, or until you see somebody popping, that's when you like it enough that I gotta buy it, versus like it was hot the whole time though.
Yeah. And it almost makes you want to say, and hopefully you can try and do this with your podcast, it starts to remind the consumer that they're in control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They are like
that person only has so many followers because somebody decided to follow them.
Yeah.
If you decided to say, hey, let me get 20 friends and we're just gonna rock ADC for a month,
you can be your own influencer.
yeah, that's it.
Long story short,
That's
like
it.
I think it all the time, right? Like there's so many brands that are glorified, and don't get me wrong, some of them are hot, right? But then you look at certain brands and you're like,
mid.
That's expensive trash. Like that shirt. Like I get the brand. I'm not gonna shit on nobody's brand, but like I get the brand. But if you really take yourself out of it and take yourself out of the hype of wearing that brand, it's like, yo, that shit is ugly. Versus if, and I hate to say this term, like if we stuck together, we could make one of our boys the next popping brand. We can make somebody we know the next it brand, versus going to these brands that they don't honestly give a fuck about us. They just want the dollar. Versus going to another smaller brand and you're like, yo, every time Shawn step out, he's wearing, like, what brand is that?
Yeah.
We don't realize that the power we have in the fashion world, where it's like, no, we can make this brand pop off, and now it's like, oh, that brand is for us. And if, you know, once the brand pops off, they switch up, then you can say, fuck them, we helped y'all get there. Or that same brand could be like, yo, I appreciate y'all got me here.
Yeah.
But y'all give them the opportunity to make that decision.
You have to.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You never sounds like you never really struggled or came across any hurdles on the creative side of the design. Like you always got a ton of ideas in the tuck. As far as marketing, were there any hurdles that you still see in front of you that you aren't ready to jump over yet?
Horrible. I'm horrible at marketing. I'm horrible. I'm telling you, the execution, the easiest part is the creating part. That's the easiest part. Like I have ideas constantly. I'm constantly putting stuff in my notepad. I'll think of a quote, I'll put it down, and I have like whole collections that I'm holding myself back from releasing because it's like, I don't know if they're gonna like it, or And at some point, it's kind of like, when am I gonna say fuck it? Just do it.
You got to pull the trigger.
But I'm so scared to lose that, like, operating out of fear is making me waste time. And it's kind of like, damn, am I missing my moment because I'm not as consistent?
I think my mom just said it years ago. Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you won't know until you won't know until you go, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's that inner struggle. It's like, being a creator / a marketing genius at the same time. You're trying to find a fine line in between not losing neither, but you don't want to lose
it's like,
yourself
and
either.
then marketing, like when you're doing it your own, right? Like when you're every department of the brand.
Yeah.
Marketing how? Like,
When
the influencer, like the influencer route is trash, bro. It's like, after a while you start feeling like I'm sending a bunch of free shit to people because they're somebody and they're not even wearing it.
Mhm.
Versus, I'll give something to Shawn. I'll send merch to you guys, and you guys are more likely to rock it than an influencer who's getting free shit anyway.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna put it on for the video and then
Mhm.
take it off. Whereas I've seen Shawn wear my shit as his outfit for the day, where anytime I see that, I get humbled. I'm like, damn, you could have wore anything, but you put on my shit. Like I completed your outfit. That's dope to me.
Mhm.
It's like you structure your outfit, your kicks match and all that, like, with my brand. So like, that's how, and that's why I struggle with the marketing too. Like, oh, they say you got to do this, they say you got to do that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to keep on sending people free shit. They're not wearing it. So at some point, it's like,
You're losing merch.
and even when I have had influencers or people with pop and social media wear the stuff, it didn't help me with sales.
Right.
Versus, I'll give something to Shawn, and Shawn wear it, and Shay wants it now, or somebody from work wants it now, and I'm like, that's better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
it's
The organic way. It's weird. It's a little slower as far as going, but it's a way better feel.
and I'm okay with that route. I'm okay with the organic route. It's just more me getting out of my own way.
Mhm.
Yeah, and one thing I think that structure is built to keep those people in power, right? The route is find somebody with 100,000 followers and get them to come on your show or to wear your stuff, and it's like, what? We know where that's going. We
Mhm.
know we're gonna have
Yeah.
to pay a decent price, and I mean, come on now. There's so many things out here that we can't afford. I can't afford to help you get richer.
By
You
the
know
way,
what I mean? Like, I can't afford to send more people to your page. I'd rather film 15-minute videos about the latest content in the world and just keep posting them motherfuckers until something
consistency.
hits.
Yeah.
Consistency.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If Bobby Shmurda can make a song with that dance and it make it to Floyd Mayweather, I believe I got a chance. You know
Well,
what I mean?
if you think about it, everything that's catchy right now, it's kind of like, you look at it and you're like,
For real.
there was not
Every
a lot
time.
of thought put into
Bruh.
that.
They didn't care
Bruh.
enough. You know they didn't
Period.
care. And
Period.
Yeah. I'm like,
Period.
oh, this happened
Period.
by
Like,
mistake.
really? Like, I
That was
can't
nuts.
compete with that. Like,
People-
that's nuts.
like, it's scarier because the artists or whomever come up with this mediocre line.
Yeah.
It's the Yes team in the studio that pisses me off.
Mhm.
Because everybody looked at each other, go, yeah, that was good. Like, you know what I'm
That's
saying? No one,
Nobody on your team told you that was trash.
that irks the shit out of me, bro. So much. It's like
People
nobody
don't have
said,
no men. People don't have no men.
nobody said, yo, I don't think
Yo.
this is the one. Like, nobody thought that. Come on.
Let it go. Just let that thought go.
I hate when that shit. That's the worst. The worst.
Mhm. So, I mean, we had a question here, but I'm gonna jump to one because I know and I know he likes to talk about real shit. But
Uh-oh.
we just gonna jump into it, man. We had this a part of the hot spot, but I think this is a perfect topic for you. Kanye West. We started our show off yesterday talking about your man and his White Lives Matter shirt, right? So, do you feel that Kanye is helping or hurting the fashion world?
Hurting.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Talk to me.
Hurting in a sense of, I don't know how to explain it. Like, some of the stuff you see is not hot. Like, it's the big boots is like, sometimes I feel like these high-end brands are trolling us, right?
They are.
and getting us to buy something that is not hot. Like no matter what you say, it's not hot, but because it's this, we put so much value into it.
Right.
Unfortunately,
When Supreme started selling bricks and fire extinguishers and crowbars, and you're like, I'm looking at it like, what part of the game am I missing?
branding, marketing.
When the marketing is genius, it's brilliant. But then we're stupid for falling for it. Where you're like, this is not even a product. I don't even need a Supreme brick.
Seasonally.
But
we keep falling for it.
What do you do with a Supreme scooter?
But
like when you bring it back to the Kanye thing, it's kind of like for every dope thing he does so many other things that make you question, like, how the fuck can I support you now?
Yeah, man.
Like the Yeezy sneaker is fucking dope as hell. Not all of them. Some are crazy.
Yeah, some are too much for me.
But some are so hot where you're like,
I can't avoid it.
This is a really dope shoe. But it's I just feel like he doesn't have a no man on his team. He doesn't have, like, I feel like some celebrities get famous enough to that everybody around them becomes yes men. Because you want to stay around him. You're happy that you're in his presence. So you're not gonna say, yo, that I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's a good idea.
Like, try it as a friend.
I'll lose my job right there. I'm like, nah, that's not it, dog. But it's kind of like you spend so much time being a man that you feel like you can't miss.
Yeah.
So you just end up being like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. They're gonna like it anyway. And there is some people that still like it.
Yeah,
that's true.
So it's like we just happen to fall on the side that don't. But there's still some people that are gonna. There's people that want that White Lives Matter T-shirt.
Yeah.
Because of the controversy it caused.
Yeah.
Because look at us, we're talking about it.
That's it. And that's why I think he's as off the wall as he is, as bipolar as he may be. Like he still has flashes of brilliance and genius. Like that White Lives Matter shirt wasn't it, but the controversy that it caused, and if you put it up on any Yeezy supply site, it'll be gone in minutes.
You're trending it. And the thing is, right, and it's not hurtful. It's just if you see enough scandals happen long enough that if you just stay quiet, it goes away.
Yeah, often.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't address it, it just goes away. So it's kind of like, all right, he doesn't say nothing about this, maybe about a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, releases a new sneaker, crazy colorway, and people are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
There's some people who like a Jamel Hill, like somebody with a voice will be like, oh, fuck this guy. But sometimes I feel like these young kids don't matter. Like they don't care. It's like, nah, I'm gonna get the Yeezy regardless. He crazy, but I'm still get the Yeezy.
Yeezy's is hot.
Yeah.
That's wild. I don't know. It's life, man. That whole influencer thing, it's weird. Like we're all one LeBron walking away, right? from wearing your hat, putting on the t-shirt. That's it. All you need is that one TNT camera following them. Everybody needs to know.
Like, yo, that's me. That's me. That's my brand.
I've seen it a few times. I'll be like, oh, what shorts are those? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a habit. It's weird. Like,
start looking it up, and you're like, damn. But then you start realizing this. Like, even with that, I don't want to send somebody free stuff. I want you to buy it. Like, it means more once you put a monetary value to it. I could send you a hat, and it just goes in the closet with one of your hats, or you buy this hat. I spent money on this. I'm gonna look at it different. You might even lose the hat I sent you for free, but if you buy it, you bought it. You have this hat on purpose. That's how I look at it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and at that point, you got the money. You know what I mean? Like it ain't gonna hurt you.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like why I'm gonna send people stuff for free when other people are sending you stuff for free?
Yeah,
that's weird to me, man.
Yeah, I don't know why people do it.
Be your own influencer.
I agree.
Are we still keeping it spicy? I got to start up with the precursor. Is this a safe place?
Always.
All right. What brand or brands to you have fell off in the past few seasons, whether it was terrible runway shows or just word of mouth through the industry, where it's like, yo, they was hot 3-4 seasons ago, then they just tanked.
Supreme.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think Kith is getting them the fuck out of here. They've been doing some crazy, like
I think Kith's about to get Polo out of here in another 5-10 years. Go
Yo,
ahead. Go
we're
ahead.
having
Go
we're
ahead.
having like Jerry Seinfeld in ads, and
Yeah.
the most recent one they did with this other dude, with
They
I
got
forgot,
he has
Norton, Edward Norton or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you like
His
y'all on that level now.
yeah,
But
Ronnie's vision is wild, but
then it's also stuff that is like, this is a really dope jacket. Where you look at some of the Supreme stuff, and it's like, oh, this is actually really ugly.
mm-hmm. It
You know what I'm
just says
saying?
Supreme.
Like
It just says Supreme on the back.
yeah. Like this
Yeah.
just has the name. Where you looking at some of the Kip collabs and stuff like that, and you're like,
A
whoa,
lot of
I didn't know I liked this. I didn't know I needed this.
a lot of they clean shit, like with no logos, I adore.
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
a big
yeah.
fan. Just like the quality that he puts into all his pieces is just different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the color palettes he uses and just the various material. He's on another one, and he takes no breaks. Like his marketing team in Werethal to maneuver that landscape
Yeah.
and bring hip hop with him in Queens and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he going so another 5-10 from now is gonna be a whole nother level for him. But
Yeah, but I would say Supreme though. That's the one where you had a spark with when you started, but now you're just garbage. Like it's one of those.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that. I respect that. Do you currently have a favorite? Well, outside of the brand, of course. Do you have a favorite designer?
No.
You shouldn't. That's a trick question.
No, I really don't. Where like I'm more about supporting a brand that you never heard of. Like my fashion style has never been to wear the latest and greatest. Like I never found it that great. Like I've never wanted to go outside and bump into somebody with the same outfit as me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
Like when those sneakers come out, everybody's gonna buy them, and then they're gonna go to the store and buy that same fitted hat that matches those. It's like you end up looking like copy and paste.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always wanted to wear stuff that nobody had, and not even like expensive. Like I'll go to TJ Maxx, I'll go to Burlington, but like it's just that one shirt when you're surfing through stuff and you're like, got it.
It's the one.
Like I've always enjoyed that. So it's really never a specific brand that I'm looking for. It's just like a color or a feel, like where it's like, oh, this is, and I kind of like ugly kicks, like on purpose because nobody has them.
And the colors are usually great. Like the ugly shoe is a color that you didn't know you had that shirt that matched until you came home with the shoe. You go,
exactly.
Oh, this is an outfit. Like those are the best outfits ever.
You buy stuff, right? You buy stuff and you have nothing that goes with it, and you just put it in your closet. And at some point, you're gonna find that perfect match. And when you do, you're like, oh, I'm gonna crush this tomorrow.
I miss those. I miss those days.
Yeah, it was like that for 2020, man. I fell in love with Puma. And everything was Puma. Like all 2020, I was going to people's birthday parties with Puma on. Like it was that deep.
Like the whole outfit or the sneakers?
Joint, the whole joint.
Okay.
Because for me personally, like with everything else that was going on with 2020, it definitely put everything in perspective. Like, yeah, I can't keep just funneling money into these brands. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, the sneakers I still indulge in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I have not bought a expensive article of clothing in like the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, unless it was like for like my birthday, where I really wanted to look a certain way. But the other 364, it was just really just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So, and 2020 made it easy, right? You wasn't going nowhere.
No,
Niggas wasn't getting together. So
no.
I was like, why the fuck am I gonna buy all of this shit
Mad outfits
sitting there
to
and
go nowhere,
out of season
to go nowhere
when outside opens? That makes no sense. Like, so that's pretty much how I did it. But listen, you said it yourself, right? You have your goals set to get the brand out there. You know, we can't wait to see what you do with it going into 2023 and you know, moving forward. Now, if you were meeting someone tomorrow that could change the trajectory of ADC and take it to the top, which piece do you think would be the intro piece that you give to them?
That's a good one because I like every piece for its own reasons. Like even the laundry day, like the laundry day stuff happened by mistake. Like it happened, like it literally happened because I had a shirt one day. Like I do bum stuff sometimes. Like I'll admit it. I don't care. Like, let's say if I don't feel like getting dressed, or I took too long to do laundry, right? And I had no good t-shirts, right? So I knew one of my favorite shirts was in the hamper. I hamper surfed and I got the t-shirt. And my wife was like, you gonna wear that t-shirt? And I'm like, yeah. And I noticed that it had a bleach stain on it.
Damn.
And she was like, you're gonna wear it like that? And I was like, yeah, it's laundry day. So we went somewhere and I've never been the type that gets like embarrassed quick. Like I find it funny. I find stupid shit funny. So once we got to the get together, I was like, yo, don't mind the bleach stain on my shirt. It's laundry day. But then like just the term laundry day stuck in my head with the bleach shirt, whatever. And that's how that idea ended up coming along. Like I started bleaching the shirts and that's where the laundry day idea came from. So I'm in love with that for that reason. The first t-shirt, I'm in love with that logo for that reason. The light bulb, I'm in love with it for different reasons. So it's kind of like I would show them each piece and ask for advice on which direction should I go.
Okay, so it's just look at the full line and let them pick.
Yeah, because like it'll be me honestly admitting I don't know. Which piece do you think? Because I love them all differently. I love them all for different reasons.
Okay.
Which direction do you think I should go? Like I have no problem asking for help.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta be humble in that. You know what I mean? Because you learn shit every day. We're always students to whatever craft or field you're in, but you can't ever stop learning. So
I personally like the one you got on.
The different one, right?
That's my favorite. Cause that one with the Yeezys, that was probably I stepped out in glory that day. Cause I swear, bro, I was there. I'm like, the fuck am I gonna wear with this shirt? And then I just thought about I don't have to follow the rules. I just needed to be close enough.
Yeah. So, I just need to be in that spectrum. And it's so far from your sneaker that people don't really notice it.
Exactly. And then once I like had it on, I'm like, oh nah, I'm stepping. I think I wore that combination, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The first time I wore it, I didn't take pictures on purpose because I knew another event was coming and I wanted to wear it there.
I do that all the time.
And take that pictures
I recycle the shit out of outfits.
Yo, son, like everybody was trying to take pictures. I was like, no. I ain't supposed to be out tonight.
My wife don't know I'm here. Chill.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that real outing. Oh man, I was like, nah, you gotta get the full joint, man, so I can post this shit and show all this shit.
I'm gonna show you which logo I'm it's in the stash too. It has this, but it has the A and concept on it. So it's kind of like it still incorporates the different, but it's just more like, again, me doing shirts that I know that's my shit. Like, oh, that's mine. But then I want you to like when people see it, they get to see what the brand is. Cause that's where I feel like I've dropped the ball too, as far as not doing too many pieces that had a different concept on it.
Right.
So, it's noticing things, it's paying attention to things where you're like, oh shit, I didn't do this.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've taken our dabble into the clothing industry. I asked you 100 questions.
That's just a headache, right? Once you start doing it.
Oh man, like the great thing about it was this guy, he's been in his bag, the minute that we decided to go the clothing route, because he's always been good with like illustrations and fashion sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I just put shit on at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, it's been great to see like his vision come to fruition. And there's this one specific green shirt. I'm sorry, I'm gonna plug a picture in at this point that he did. Like, I'm in love with the design. It reminded me of Rich Young. Remember Rich Young had the R in the middle, and then it had the little design going out like this or whatever, like almost like a shield or whatever.
Yeah.
He did some shit like that with gold on a green shirt.
Okay.
It was just a logo at first. I was like, nah, dude, that has to be a shirt. Make sure that is a shirt. I want that shirt.
I gotta see that.
Best believe, man. I wore that shit with like some Hoochie Daddy gold and black shorts.
you like the Hoochies,
and
man.
the Yeezys. Listen, man, like.
Now I'm not gonna lie. This was my first.
He said I got a couple pair.
No, I got more than a couple. I put them shits on and I'm like, yo, they so comfortable. Like now,
so I can move my knees.
So now I don't even know who I am. Like now I get bothered if the shorts touch my knees.
Yeah,
like I feel it now.
That's too low.
Remember when you were younger, right? And we when we played ball, and the shorts were too short.
Yeah,
like they had to be at your knee or below your knee.
Yeah.
Now it's like if it touches my knee, it's like, ugh, these are disgusting.
I
So
know,
where am I
right?
going with
I
this?
feel like I'm like in the 90s again. I'm like,
Word. That's a fact.
why
Yeah,
are
it's
these
like-
shits down to my
Yeah.
ankles?
With the hoochie daddies, right? You do like 17 squats before you walk right out. So the
Bang.
leg muscles look at you work out.
Get
That's
the
good to
go.
elastic
That's it.
sticking to you. Ooh.
That shit got the veins a little bit.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Tell wifey take 2 steps back when we're going this way. Yeah, I mean, just in case.
It's like you flexing your leg muscles when y'all take a couple pictures
Mhm.
together.
I
You're
know,
like,
right?
nobody
Start
asked for
pointing
that.
that shit with your foot when you're
Right.
out.
Like, the camera's not that low, buddy.
So are you standing on your tippy toes? No. Just ankles up. Ankles up.
Just flex.
That's it.
Ankles up
That's
on the
it.
motor.
Yeah, man. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
man.
it's been a hell of a journey.
This might be a bit of a reach back from earlier, but if you had the ability to kind of incorporate your lens and your brand in conjunction with another brand to like be the vision for an upcoming season with them, is there a brand you would like to partner with in that aspect? If they gave you full creative rights to kind of do the collab and combining what your vision with their aesthetic?
So this is actually something that I've thought about, and the answer to that is no. Like it's if I collab, I want to collab with somebody or something that brings something totally different to the table, which is why like the first collab I did was with an artist. So it's kind of like if your thing is art and my thing is fashion, let's combine the two and make art that you can wear.
Gotcha.
So it's because it's like if you have a t-shirt brand and I have a t-shirt brand, all we're gonna do is just slap the logo and create something different and the logo, your logo on top of mine, or like something creative, and it's cool, but it's been done before. Versus,
and you don't have to stick to like another fashion brand specifically, just a brand period, whether it be Crayola or whomever it may be. Like if your kids happen to have a favorite color, just another entity.
Crayola would be dope.
Yeah, I go trademark that, get that done.
Sorry, yeah,
but
Crayola
you know what I mean?
would be dope.
But anyone, for example, it doesn't have to be another like a not somebody in your niche, just somebody that crossed your mind. You could Cinnabon, whoever. Like, you know what I mean?
All right, so like a brand like that, it would have to be something that like it's close to me in a sense that it's like my favorite. So like a famous pizza shop or like Lemonheads or like candy brand or like Kit Kats, or, like something that like Frosted Flakes, like something I have direct ties to. Like it has to make sense to me more than you're hot. Let's do something together.
Yeah, always. You don't want to do the you're hot. Let's strike now, because by the time you actually strike, they're usually not hot anymore, and then it's too late.
Yeah, it would be something like something totally random, like Krispy Kreme donuts or something like that, or like something that has nothing to do with you never thought you liked a Krispy Kreme t-shirt.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
No, I definitely I think it would be cool, and I think the ladies would probably love it because they're the
see what I'm saying?
They're the ones who probably do laundry the most. If you did laundry day shirts that match the detergents.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I already have that in my notepad. Like,
like,
I already have that in my notepad. Like, the worst part is like I need the laundry day idea to pop so bad because I have like the first vision of where I would want to do my first pop up for that part of the brand, and it would be in a laundromat.
Of course, it has to be.
Of course.
And it's kind of like the medium shirts are in that washing machine. The whole setup, like it looks like a laundromat. Like I've always had that vision from the beginning, and I'm like, damn, I hate that I have more ideas for laundry day than I do for a different concept, even though it's under the same umbrella.
Yeah, but you know what it is though, and this is kudos to Ramel, because we were talking about something else. Ramel's our my older nephew, his brother. Sometimes you want to be known for something. Maybe laundry day is that thing that you can springboard off of after a year or two, because out here in Brooklyn, right, Cake Man Raven. You wanted red velvet cake. You know who Cake Man Raven is?
I've heard of it.
And you live in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
My man set up shop in Brooklyn. That man sold red velvet 100 miles an hour up the block for years.
Yeah. Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
The same flavor for years. There's times where both of our wives ask us, what flavor should you go with? It's like, yo, go with what you know.
Yeah.
Go with what sells. So, bro, if laundry day is what your passion is right now, ride that fucking train, brother. Because that's why people need to know you for something. Right now, they know you have a brand. Now, if everybody go to the fucking laundry, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody go to the
Yeah.
laundry. You
Can't
know
avoid
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every day somebody's at the laundry and they're gonna think of your brand.
Yeah, it's something that
I
it's
can't
something that you
avoid
can't
it.
avoid doing. Yeah, you can't avoid doing
Yeah.
laundry.
You
Can't
know what
avoid it.
I'm saying?
So why not look fly on laundry day
Why not?
or
Mhm.
make laundry day a good thing versus it being a thing that you dread and hate?
Why
Facts.
not? You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways you could spin it. You have little kids going to do the laundry just because they want to be a part of laundry day.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean? You got grandma at laundry day with her shit on. You know what I'm
Everybody.
saying?
The
You know what I
possibilities
mean?
are endless with that one.
Yo,
That'd be dope.
build
You got,
on
yeah,
that,
you gotta put that together now.
Yeah,
It's
build
like
on
you
Yeah,
gotta
no,
do it. You
so
gotta
that adds to my confusion of decision making where you're like,
Mhm.
all right, so what do I focus on? Do I focus on ADC or do I focus on laundry day? Because laundry day ended up like the laundry day stuff ended up working so good
Mhm.
that I started flirting with the thought of making that a separate brand.
Mm.
Mhm.
But then it's like, listen, you're not even doing good at having one. Don't make two. What I go do, I start a podcast.
Oh, man.
So you get like again, like
Yeah.
my thing is the ideas. My thing is the thinking. It's the
Mhm.
execution that I'm struggling. That's why I've been. So what I do with the podcast, I do an episode,
Mhm.
and then I don't think about it anymore. I focus on ADC.
So I got a good recommendation for you, man. It's a book. It's called Soundtracks by John Acuff.
Okay.
And it talks to you about certain things that you need to kind of retrain your mind with that overthinking. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Because we all struggle with it. Some of us are a little better than others, but you have such a tremendous talent and something to bring to the table that you owe it to yourself to invest in where your mindset is at
Okay.
and retrain your mind to start saying, no, I need to stick with this. Because
And
I know if I
oh
start something else,
boy, that's what I need so
exactly,
bad.
right? You know
I
what I
need
mean?
structure. I'm
Right.
all over the place.
Yeah, it's a real, it's called Soundtracks, and he breaks down how you start first. You educate yourself, you know what I mean? Then there's a reset, and then it's repeat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Every day you gotta wait. Some of us, like my wife, I tell her put stickies up everywhere. So
Okay.
when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what it is that you gotta do. She got a whole calendar board of what she gotta do for the month
And it's
because it's the
structure.
because it's the best way for her to work, and it's okay to be like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you gotta have 100 reminders. I got reminders for the reminders, fam.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Okay.
respect the aging process. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I'm gonna hit you up after this to get the exact information of that because
yeah,
I need anything that'll help me with structure. I need that. I need like
yeah,
I have too many thoughts in my head. I need to sit down and like
yeah.
focus.
Mhm.
And overthinking is the biggest animal besides depression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because mental health is, if you have bad mental health, man, it's the most debilitating thing known to man because you can't see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm
It's
an
a
So,
fact.
overthinker. I'm an
yeah,
It's a
overthinker.
fact.
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I said this before. Think about like a graph, like a pie graph or whatever, right? And break it down in like an increment of 30 minutes, right? It'll take me about like 5 minutes to come up with an idea, right? And sometimes it's like a dope idea. Like I'll run it by like a friend and they'll be like, yo, that's fire. I'll spend the next 25 convincing myself that
why
that
it's not
idea
good.
was whack or why it's
That's
not good or why
that's
it won't work.
exactly
Let me
what this
not do
book
it.
will help you with,
Mhm.
brother. I'm telling you,
Horrible.
exactly what you just said is exactly what Homeboy said.
And then I'll do the thing, right? Because I sat on the laundry day idea 6 months before I finally did the first laundry day shirt. And then it works.
Mm-hmm.
But then the worst part is it happens every time I release something. It's like, what do you, in my head, I'm like, what are you doing to yourself?
Yeah.
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 Like, at what point am I going to be
You're
confident in
torturing
my
yourself.
create? It's
You're
torture
torturing
because it's
yourself.
like, I'm not going to do it. And then you end up with like decision fatigue. Like, I didn't think that
Yeah.
was a thing till I heard it, but you end up trying to figure out what you're going to do next. And you think about it so much that you end up not doing anything because that was
Mhm.
the easier thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That
So yeah, I need that
Nike
book
"Just
ASAP.
Do It" slogan, man, you could break that down 1,000 different ways. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, just do it. Whatever
Just
it
do it.
is, just do it.
Just do
Worst
it.
case
Just do
scenario,
it.
you gave it a really good shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
like
You
it,
tried.
try it again. Try it
Yeah.
again. Worst case
Put it on
scenario.
sale. Use the coupon code.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
How I want to go here with this one. Where do you see, they kind of got two brands now, but where do you see ACD or a laundry day in the next like 12 months, 5 years, 10 years? Do you have a trajectory that goes out that far
No,
mentally yet? Nah.
no.
He said not even.
I the honest answer is like I've shared my struggles with mental health, and Shawn knows a little bit about it. As long as the brand makes me happy, I'll keep on doing it. The minute it doesn't make me happy anymore, I'll stop,
Mm-hmm.
because this was an outlet for me. So it's kind of like I do have those days where I start getting overwhelmed with decisions that I have to make, where I start feeling like this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have to sometimes, pep talk myself and say it's gonna be hard sometimes. How
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
much do you really like doing this? How
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
much do you enjoy something selling out? How much do you enjoy seeing people with your stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a gift and a curse kind of thing. It's kind of like, damn, you came up
Facts.
with this dope outlet, and now this outlet is tied to your emotions on how you feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on certain days, it makes me feel so good, but on certain days, it's like, I can't do nothing right. I suck. I'm a fucking failure. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
likes
Mhm.
these shirts. So it's as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, I see the brand growing, but I have to put in the work for it to grow. And
Yeah.
and I'll be 100% honest and say that I don't think I've put in that work for the brand to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I talk about the brand to somebody I never met before, they end up buying something. So I can sell.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't do it on purpose, but I can sell. And I do have something people want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just constantly having to remind yourself of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So that's what I like. I need to work on me and how I view the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, if you wake up every day with the, I'm great and what everything I do is great mentality, it's really hard to fail at that point. You know what I mean? Because you're putting your best foot forward. So that's all you can really ask of yourself,
Yeah.
regardless of which way you're going. As long as you know what I mean? If you go in the right direction at a decent speed, it's really hard to crash.
It's it's what the thing with fashion and having a brand is tricky because you get caught up in, are people gonna like this? Is this in?
Mm-hmm.
Where every time I get to that point where I don't know what to do, and I put something out that I wanted to do, and it works.
Yeah.
You gotta just
It's
keep that faith in yourself.
it's the worst. It's like it's so like I would say I'm my worst. Of course,
Critic.
creators are usually their worst critic,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where you're like, all right, this is getting to a point now that you're holding yourself back. Like, dude, you have decent ideas. This is me talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop sitting on them. They're gonna do more if I put them out than sitting in my notepad. If I showed you my notepad, it's disgusting.
Mhm.
So it's me.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to everybody. It really like who motivates the motivator. That's
Facts.
always the toughest thing. You know what I mean? Like you said, you can sell like if your friend came to you and said, "Yo, oh, I'm thinking about doing something," you'll probably give them all the information, all the
All the juice.
resources,
All
all that good stuff.
yo,
So I said I dropped so many gems last week.
Yeah.
yo, like I'll like the advice that I'll give you and the resources that I'll give you, you'll think like I have like a 6-figure successful brand. And it's kind
Yeah.
of like, wow, I'm giving all the advice that I don't use for myself. I know that they're there,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't use them for myself. But in my head, I think that's what work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
So
funny. People are
it's
people don't know how to admit it, but 95% of the time, everybody's a better coach than you are a player.
Mm-hmm.
And the quicker you realize that you being a coach isn't a bad idea, you can learn to listen to your own self. Everything usually falls into place right after that. It's the
yeah,
weirdest thing. Everybody's so caught up being like, nah, I'm the star of the team. Yeah, but that star still has to take direction from someone. So
exactly,
make sure you're on the directing side, and you make sure this all makes sense when everybody gets on the court. If you can
exactly.
put yourself in that shoe for just maybe 10 minutes a day, the rest of the day usually pans out. It's
I need
crazy.
to coach myself.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think you made a great point earlier. Like you're the coach, you're the players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
The
the
whole
equipment
team.
guy.
You're the GM.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody.
the
So
ball boy. I drive the bus.
yeah.
Like it's sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. But what the biggest thing is, I can't be part of the thing that's overwhelming. That's the part that I have to work on. You get what I'm saying? Like everything
Yeah.
is going to be hard. This is not going to be easy. But I can't have one of the biggest issues be me.
Right.
Nah, facts.
I have to get out my way.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and it's something that I'm fully aware of. I just struggle doing it at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
That's a common thing. Like from from being a child to like being a
Part of being
full
a
blown
human.
senior
Mhm.
citizen. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's
just
part
part
of
of
being
life.
a human.
That's a fact.
Mm.
That's a fact.
So
What was
I
that?
think we're ready for
It's time, right?
FCP hotspot, man, with just some quick questions. You know what I mean? Some quick. So you want to take this one, man?
You ready? All right, I got you.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Welcome to the FCP hotspot. We're gonna be asking rapid fire questions, and you only got about 2 to 4 seconds to answer them. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. First one up. Very easy. Favorite TV show.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible with this. Like my favorite TV show.
He said, "Damn, I was ready."
No, because like I hate when I have to think because my mind, like I can't shut my mind out. I can never think about one thing. But like if I had to say a favorite TV show that I could just watch again, I really enjoyed Queen of the South.
Okay.
That was a good show. That was a good show. I like that one. Waiting on the new season. I hope a couple.
Could I admit that I'm really, really liking Bridgerton? Like my wife, like
Yo,
she started
I
watching
love
it.
that show.
Yo, and I tuned in like, what are you watching? Like three, like she was on episode 3.
Yeah,
I found myself like, babe, you want to watch
can't lose.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool.
Really good. She's really good.
Crazy writing, but I ain't say that loud. We can edit that out.
FCP hotspot. Next question. Favorite movie.
Heat.
That was a good movie. All right. Name a musician that embodies your fashion sense.
Kid Cudi.
Mm.
Without the skirts.
I was about to ask you, like, did you see the last movie he did?
Without the skirts.
If you could have a conversation with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
Conversation, dead or alive. Who would it be? I had a family friend. No, you know what? My uncle.
Mm.
Because he when he passed away, we wasn't speaking because I was holding a stupid grudge that was full of pride.
Mm-hmm.
You're younger, you think you're the man.
You know everything.
Yeah, and it was like a stupid argument that happened, and I didn't talk to him for years, and it was somebody I was really close to, which is stupid. And then you go all these years of not speaking, and then he passes away, and you're like, I never got to say sorry.
Yeah.
So it would be honestly, that would be the conversation. They would just be like, yo, sorry, like this was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like no celebrities, no nothing like that. Like I don't, it would be my uncle.
Gotta appreciate your loved ones. Dream vacation spot.
I would love to go back to Fiji. I went there once for my honeymoon. So never really cared about stuff like that. But so I had told my wife, she would ask me, where do you want to go for honeymoon? And I said, somewhere that we would probably only go once.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, Fiji. I didn't know where the fuck that was. Like I had to look at a map.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's like Australia, Fiji, right? It took 18 hours to get there, but it looked so fake. Like everything was just like naturally beautiful. It looked like a screensaver. So, and it was really expensive. So most of our wedding gift money went on that, which was kind of cool though.
That's what it's for.
But I would want to go there again because of how like it was. It just looked fake. Like you couldn't believe something was that beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
Yeah, some of that stuff definitely looks like Bob Ross just painted it right before you got there.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. Like some stuff you just can't do. You got any quick questions for the hotspot? I think that was all of them. That was quick.
Your favorite brand to wear when not in ADC?
My favorite brand to wear when not in ADC. Not gonna lie, I like Uniqlo stuff. Uniqlo.
It's like Gap. It's like Gap, but not Gap. That's weird. But yeah, they got really good.
It's like a H&M.
Exactly.
Like it's like a better quality H&M. So it's like if you're looking for blank stuff, like without the logo everywhere, and like it's that.
Okay. Yeah, send me that because I'm always looking for shit like that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just clean clothing. Like I don't know why. Just I think as you get older as well, like you don't care about the the flashy logo as much as you used to.
Nope.
Here's the one thing that I was talking to one of my young boys about this. There's rarely been a situation where you got the ass because of what you had on. And once you realize that, you realize that I was stressing all these outfits for no reason when I could have just got it with a Hanes white T-shirt and Levi's.
A lot of functions worked out with white tees and black tees.
You know what I'm saying? So as you get older, you realize like none of this name brand stuff really matters. It just matters how cool you are.
That's right.
Every time.
Because you could be decked out with the latest shit and still be corny.
Yeah.
Can't hide corny.
I've seen it.
You see it all the time.
You see it like firsthand. That's funny.
You cannot be covered. You can't cover that shit up.
You can't. You can't change corny. Once you get that label, you corny forever.
Yeah, that's it. You just corny plus. That's it.
Oh, I got one more rapid fire question for you. Best dressed artist in your opinion out there?
Best dressed artist. I don't know.
Damn. I really thought you would have had somebody in the top.
No, it's like I really, I don't know. I really don't look at that stuff. Like I really don't pay attention to what like people have on. Like I wish I did. Like I wish I cared about stuff more. But like I would say that's one of my toxic traits. Like I just really don't care what other people are doing.
Okay.
Like if I can't control it, I don't put much thought into it.
Copy. I respect that. Okay. Favorite food, and I'm done with. With you.
Pizza, extra cheese, pepperonis.
You talking thin crust or the regular New York stuff?
Any. Like I could have a bad pizza and be a little upset and still be happy that I had pizza.
I'm the same way.
Yo, I'm telling you, like
that shit was horrible.
It's been very rare. It's been very rare where I've had a slice where I'm like, I hated that.
Yeah.
Like I just know that this wasn't in my top.
Yeah.
But cheese and crust, I'm good.
Can't go wrong with that.
Like I feel like if you could, I feel like I love pizza so much that you could give me that old school lunch pizza, and I'd be good with that.
Oh, the Elio's joint, the Elio special.
Once you got over that hump of feeling embarrassed, like remember when school lunch wasn't cool?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you started being hungry, right? And then you got a little older, and you said, "Fuck it." It was free anyway. And you ate the burgers with the silver wrappers.
That's right.
So give me that fish with
Those
the cheese.
Are the best burgers. Too,
that fish with the cheese was underrated. Everybody always laughed at the fish with the cheese.
It was alright. I don't know if it was real, but it was alright. But then those pizzas wasn't bad either. It's like, it's pizza.
I think I doubled back to a few pizzas in my lunch days. That's a fact.
Hell yeah.
If I was full, I would just take the cheese off. Yo, you gonna eat that?
You don't need all that pepperoni, right?
Nah, you don't need that. Let me get a pepperoni.
That's a fact.
Hell yeah, nah, pizza's the move, man.
But yeah, sir. You have finished the FCP hotspot segment. We appreciate that.
That wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad.
That wasn't bad.
Nah.
We ain't say nothing crazy. It's like you shave your balls or not. It's like, whoa, hey, yo. It's not that kind of conversation. No.
Nah, see, but the thing is, you can't play that game with me, right? Because I'll answer.
Yeah,
like cause those are the stupid things I find funny, right?
Pineapple.
You're like,
pineapples.
Like, oh, you really want to know? Nah, stop, because that shit itch when to grow back.
Oh shit. The man raises a good point.
Wait, real quick.
Oh, shit.
You opened this can of worms. You
my bad, dog. I was just fucking around.
You ever did it, right? And then that same day you get mad that the shit sticking to your legs now.
Yeah.
And you start realizing like, who did I do this for?
Me. Felt bigger at the end of the day.
I know who I did it for. Because she get pissed off. Like it's like she be feeling like she gotta go through the jungle and shit.
So that's where everybody's situation is different too. Because on my end, they don't exist. like it's just shaft. There's nothing there. So it's kind of like having them smooth. It's kind of like for who?
Yeah.
It's more inconvenient for me now. It's like it bothers. Like you sitting there like scratching. You're like never mind.
Like you know how weird it is.
You started it.
Like you know how weird it is getting a shape up on a Friday night and just going home. It don't hit the same. Like if you're not getting that shape up to go to the party that night, or you got an event you want to put the tie on for.
Yeah.
To get a shape up and go straight home, bro.
Yo, I haven't been to a barber since the pandemic because I just started doing it. Bro, I got a baldy. I just shaved my head, line this up. Yep. I'm good to go. Who am I getting fly for? As long as my wife still find me cute, then
that's it.
Whatever.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You never got to shape up to just hang out with your boys.
Nope.
Nah, fuck them
me.
niggas.
Exactly.
You know that thing about it? Nah.
Yeah,
I wear a hat half the time when I'm with them anyway.
Exactly. Like, oh, my boy's gonna love this shape up. You see the fade?
Never. I don't think they ever complimented me on my lineup ever.
Exactly.
Sean
Sean gonna love the one on the side.
He didn't even see this coming. He's not even gonna see this fade coming.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact.
That's
That
a whole
is a
fact.
man.
That's a fact, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. But nah, this was great, brother. You know what I mean? And, you know, I always like chopping it up with you, you know, going over the history, you know, how you got here with ADC Laundry Day. Listen, man, nothing but support and success your way. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I have all the faith in you that you'll figure out how to narrow your focus and buckle down on it. And even if it's not the clothing, it's gonna be something. Cause like you said, right, it's got to make you happy. And as long as you're happy and you're doing something that you love, man, that's all we can hope for you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's just like, as a creator, you're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. So that's
it.
I appreciate everybody who supported me along the way, where in me trying to figure out what is it that I want to do. But one thing I do want to say to you, Shawn, is that like it's very inspirational to watch what you're doing on the professional side. Like I really, like, I admire that, right? I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, that's my boy Shawn. Like, I know him. I see you when you put your cape on, when you put your professional, you know, black man, you know, like I genuinely enjoy that way. I'm like, oh, that's really dope. So I just want to let you know, like as your boy or somebody that knows you, like, I'm proud of you, where you're like, damn, I'm rooting for you. Where it's like, oh, this shit is really dope.
Big facts.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. But yo, man, it's been a pleasure, like you said, man.
Thanks so much.
Likewise. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Yeah, man. I know this ain't the last time we're gonna do this. We have to get that live IG going, man. I think the people need to hear all of this stuff that we got recorded. But any last comments you want?
Any plugs? Any pop-up shops you got dropping real soon?
Nah, it's what I will say is the stuff that I'm working on right now will be like, when you see it, you will know that I'm taking my first risk. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm really doing it. Instead of doing one piece at a time, I'm trying to do a whole collection.
That's what's up.
So I'm nervous and excited about it.
How many pieces?
I'm going with 3.
Okay.
I want to do 3 hoodies and 1 hat that matches all 3.
Copy.
Nice.
Okay. I dig it.
A lot of color coordination.
That's what's up. Fall's coming. It's getting cold. Hoodie season.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoodie season. You know the vibes. Yeah, just make sure that go with Tim's, and that's already a go. It's already a go.
It's New York friendly.
Easily. That's what's up.
Got you.
So listen, y'all, man, you're gonna see a bunch of handles pop up for Orlando, his Instagram, his website, all that stuff. You just look right under there. You'll also be able to go into the comments, go to the website, man. I'm telling you, we wear his stuff too, man. He's dope. Go and check it out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the comments, like, share, all that good stuff. Follow us on all the socials. You'll see that pop up at the bottom as well. We got the FCP shop going. Like my man said, it's hoodie season. So get you a FCP hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's like fall came and just tagged winter in all of a sudden, right?
Fall didn't happen.
Sneaks up every year somehow. I don't know
how. Hell yeah, man. But it's that time of the show, man, where we gotta go, unfortunately, right? So you are now released back into your regularly scheduled programming. Corporate life, parental life, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you do, we salute you.
Husband life.
I'm Ken Katnick.
See you back next pay week when we lock back in to a free state of mind.
Thanks so much, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, brother.